Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 1-6 podcast. My name is Kayla, your host, and on this podcast, we're going to be talking about books, movies, music, pop culture, and crafts from a Christian perspective. This first episode is just kind of an intro of getting to know me and what my testimony is because it has a lot to do with the name of this podcast. So, I was raised in a Christian household, but it wasn't until I was older that I really accepted Jesus Christ as my personal Lord and Savior. And growing up, I was very into movies and TV shows, and I would watch them over and over again. And my parents can testify how much I watched them because I could quote literally whole movies because of how much I remembered them. And as I got older, I got more into books as well, which was kind of surprising because I hated reading as a kid. It just did not come naturally to me at all, and I thought there's no way I'm ever gonna love reading. But lo and behold, God helped me overcome that, and I'm now a huge book nerd. Even in high school, one year, I read, I think, about 100 books one year, which I haven't gotten any higher than that since then, but yeah, that to me was quite the personal achievement. And I also did theater as a kid. I was very much into musicals. I did over 20 productions. Like it was insane. It was such a part of my childhood. Like half my life at the time was dedicated to it. So yeah, just a lot of fun I had with it. And I had a good childhood. Like, my parents raised me well, and I had a lot of things I was passionate about. But when I got older, I really started to struggle with low self esteem, anxiety, depression, and it really took its toll on me. I hated myself so much, and I would constantly compare myself to other people and thought I was just so ugly and so hideous. And because of that, I ended up quitting theater for a period of time. I was taking violin lessons. I quit that because I thought I was so bad at it. I also quit singing because I thought I was terrible at it as well. And yeah, I just gave up on a lot because I didn't see that I was made in the image of God. And it just breaks my heart looking back how much I struggled. And But I mean, like Matthew West says, your story for his glory. So looking back, I can see God's hand in the whole thing. And yeah, as I got older, I also struggled with an eating disorder and addiction to technology as well. And I was just really, really broken. And I also was a Christian. I just want to say, like, you can be Christian struggle still. And they have their issues and no one's perfect. The only person who's ever walked on the earth that's been perfect is Jesus Christ. And I was just so broken, and then God gave me the opportunity to go to a Christian residential home where I was able to get therapy and work on my issues that I had. And also, I forgot to mention, wasn't just that, I'd also the eating disorder and the screen addiction and other things. I'd also been hurt by people who I thought were really good friends, and it turns out they were not. And I think in later episodes I'll get into more detail about it because it does relate to my theater experience, but it hurt a lot, and I was very angry at them and angry at God and angry at the world. I just didn't understand how something I'd loved so much could just become so painful, and why I would hate, or just why. I just didn't understand the why. So I ended up going, like I said, I went to a Christian residential home and I got counseling for my issues, and the Lord helped me to be able to forgive the people who had hurt me and to make peace with my past and to see that I was made in the image of God, which I'd always heard, I knew of because I grew up knowing about Jesus, but to really, really understand how each human being is fearfully and wonderfully made. Oh, excuse me. And then I graduated that, and afterwards I ended up going to cosmetology school, which I just graduated last month, and I'm currently studying for my state board test. So then after I take that test, I'll be a licensed cosmetologist. And Yeah, it's amazing to see how the Lord has changed my life within these last few years. And, excuse me, I'm getting over being sick still. But the final thing I wanted to get into before I end this quick little intro video is the name behind the podcast. 1:6 comes from Philippians 1:6. It says, "He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion." And to me, that is just so symbolic of how God has brought me from where I was all the way up until where I am now, and how the good things he'd put in me, the talents he'd given me as a kid, like theater, singing, acting, dancing, I like writing too, and telling stories. God has just gifted me these things to be able to use for his glory, and the good things he implanted in me as a child were not in vain. And even though I struggled, he will bring the good things he began in me to completion. And that is why I decided to name the podcast the 1:6 podcast, because he always brings the good things he put in you to completion. And he's so, so good. I can't stress it enough how good he is. So, thank you so much for tuning into this introduction episode, and I will see you guys next week with the first official episode of the 1:6 podcast. Thank you so much, and have an amazing rest of your day.